There is still no word on the status of the U.S. soldier who crossed into North Korea Tuesday. Moments after this photo was taken, Private Travis King, who was highlighted there, he had joined a group touring the area, and then he appears to willingly sprint across the border. This happened in a small village. It sits in the demilitarized zone dividing North and South Korea. Correspondent Kelly Meyer is live for us in Washington. So, Kelly, more times unfolding. We're learning more details about King's military record.
Yeah, that's right, Nicole. And he was facing possible disciplinary action in the U.S. when he bolted across the North Korean border. But we still don't know for sure what motivated the 23-year-old soldier to make a run for it. But what we do know is this is ratcheting up already high tensions between the U.S., our allies, and the nuclear-armed North. The Pentagon identified the soldier as Private Second Class Travis King, and we're learning more about Private King getting into fights and kicking a police patrol car last year. He was recently released from custody after being held for 2 months in a South Korean prison. And just prior to his border crossing, he was being escorted to an airport in Seoul for a flight back to the U.S. And that's when he left and joined a commercial tour group headed for the demilitarized zone where North and South Korea meet. One eyewitness said Private King ran, quote, full gas towards the North Korean side. Now, the Secretary of Defense said that Private King crossed the border willfully and without authorization. Today, the Biden administration said the White House, Defense and State Departments, and the United Nations are all working to get answers.
We are still gathering all the facts. It is still very early on. I believe the Secretary himself of the Department of Defense said yesterday it might take us a little bit of time to ascertain all of that information. But again, we're gathering all the facts. But I want to be very clear that the administration has and will continue to actively work to ensure his safety and the return of Private King to us and to his family, obviously.
The White House is working with Sweden and South Korea on Private King's status as the U.S. doesn't have official relations with North Korea. No response from North Korea that we know of. And early Wednesday, their time, the North fired 2 short-range ballistic missiles, with both landing in the sea. That missile test coming shortly after a U.S. nuclear-armed submarine docked in South Korea. And Nicole, there's also the question of would Private King even want to come back since he willfully ran across the border? The White House was asked about that today and said they wouldn't get into hypotheticals. Nicole.
All right, Kelly Meyer live for us in Washington. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.